Alright, hello guys. I'm back from a long time of not making videos for some reason, because I have a job. And that's what cool people have. But today, I'm going to be playing this game called the Stanley Parable. It's from a while ago. I believe it's from 2013. So yeah, I'll be playing that today. A very interesting game. I've never played it myself, but I have seen people play it. So we're going to start. The end is never. I've heard there are 500 total possible endings, I think. Ooh.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay, I got that.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Okay.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. Okay. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
Oh boy.
Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget.
And that
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong.
Yeah.
Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, so I'm gonna follow everything this dude says. Because I've heard if you don't, there are other endings. So I'm just gonna try the cooperative ending first. See what that gets.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his
Just for not
boss's
getting
office,
fired, don't get
hoping
fired.
He might find an answer there.
Ball up inside you. So aggressively. Okay. I like that. The broom closet. Aha! Come back to that later.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay. I guess I will. The executive bathroom. Interesting. Whoa.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
I want an office
Shocked,
like this.
Unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him?
Yeah.
What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
And yet I did.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
Of course he did.
Amazing.
He's a cool guy.
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okay. Excuse me. Where? What? Okay. That was interesting.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Oh. Is there fog in here? Or dust or something? That's creepy.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
My computer is really loud right now. I don't know if you can hear that, but it sounds like a wind tunnel. Like an airplane taking off or something.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Yes, they did.
What horrible secret did this place hold?
Indeed.
Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see. Another button.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen.
Whoa.
Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Okay. Another button. I want to push it.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Maybe.
No.
There.
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't
Indeed.
it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Maybe.
But
Okay.
here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Indeed.
For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay. Okay, I can't run. Interesting. I did a thing.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
Indeed.
Was it over?
Probably not.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone?
Yeah, where did they
How
go?
had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But
Indeed.
as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him.
The buttons go.
For it was
I want
not
the buttons.
knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand,
Can't
but
jump.
to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives,
This is pretty.
it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Is it done? Oh, it is.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling
That's
of
pretty.
liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
So wait, where did I go? I just like stay there? Like something? Beat the What? Already? The lame ending. That's stupid. Hey, let's try something else.
Were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Well, why don't I do exactly the opposite of whatever he says?
When Stanley came to a set of two open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Of course.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour.
It's a good price for a soda.
Just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
You said it, man.
Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
I pick up a mug or something? No?
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay. Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
Are you,
I realize
though?
that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've
How about
forgotten.
no?
What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
Yeah.
Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Yeah.
Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm...
Wait, can you hear that? Is that loud or what? Jesus.
on your side. Give me a chance.
No.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Nope.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood.
Yeah.
Stanley walked through the red door.
I don't think I did.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked... All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Good.
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
100%.
Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did.
Too
And in
bad.
the end, it was all for nothing. Because
bad.
this is what you wanted to see.
Yeah.
Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far.
I wanted to see orange
Let me
tiles.
take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback.
Ooh.
There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go
Oh
ahead, Stan.
boy, let's
Take
do
for a
it.
spin.
More orange.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
5.
Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did
Me.
I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Let's see. Wait, what's this? A leaderboard? Cool. Ooh. so cool. Nah. Fine. Go through here again.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
3.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
No.
Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Yeah. I love new games.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Mr. Developer, this sucks. Takes forever. If I just let it.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me?
Because it took forever.
If it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
This one. This one's gonna be good. Like the last one.
Well, Stanley, is this any better?
Yes.
At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough?
That's so cool!
I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose.
How did you do that?
Stanley, I'm going to build a house.
Oh.
This will go here. No, here. And then...
I don't know, but you, that seems like a pretty lit house.
What does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art
It's
and
so
feel
pretty.
ashamed at your own inadequacy. But
I
you've
can build a
only seen it
way
from
better house
outside.
narrator.
You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable. Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect?
The vaulted
If it
ceilings are
only
really a
better-
nice addition.
Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Okay. Whoa.
Oh my,
So
it looks like
cool.
it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
This is so cool.
No. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
I like that one though. I actually play that one in my free time. It's Portal.
Yes, I I don't even know what this game is, but I love
It's
it.
freaking Portal!
Trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out.
It's freaking Portal!
Okay, now I'm curious.
There's a toilet!
Let's go find out what the hell this is.
I know what it is. It's Portal! How did you do this?
Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte.
Whoa.
Genius.
I love it.
No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games.
I want to play more Portal. What is this? Finally kept it. It's development. I get it. Probably gonna die. Oh, I'm not dead. How am I not dead? Ooh. I think I watched a playthrough of the old game, and this is the old game. Oh, this is so cool. What am I supposed to do, though? Oh, this is the... Of course. I knew that. I knew that. Ooh. What's that? What? What the? I'm so confused. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? This is the old game, but what am I supposed to do? What do I do?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion.
That's okay.
That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon.
No.
Very soon. I can wait.
Okay. Okay. And I am back, I guess.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
This is completely different, but...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I did. Let's see what mischief we can get into this time.
Yet there was not a single person here.
Let's wait here and see what the tips are for not getting fired.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an
Who's
answer
operating
there.
that, though? Okay, that's weird. That's what I do. Yeah, that's what I do. I love making presentations like that. It's my favorite. Okay. Which one am I, though? Is there a gnat right there? Please go away, gnat. What?
Stanley just stood there doing nothing at all.
Yeah.
He seems to think I have nothing better to do with my time than to sit around and describe every fascinating little detail of his inability to do anything. This is why Stanley and I are on such good terms.
Why does... Best slideshow ever. Okay. Transcend. Metamorphosis. I like this. Okay, the slideshow's done. What is this? Okay. Happy feelings is crossed off. Sweet. Okay. Well.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
I like the broom closet. It's my favorite place.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet.
Indeed.
No reason to still be here.
Yeah, that's true. That's about it.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet.
It is.
He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing?
Fine.
Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I will, because I saw something that said escape, so I want to go the escape route. That would be kind of cool. What's the executive bathroom? Nice. Extreme bathrooms. Wow, okay. That's where I was at the end. Okay, that's cool. Got a sink, old mirror. Cool. Bathroom. Sweet. Alright. That's a cool bathroom, I guess. Let's close all the doors. Okay, I can't. What is this? An elevator? Business strategy. Wow. I'll get in here. I like this music, man. It's pretty great. It's kind of a long elevator ride, isn't it? Also, why is it shaking? You done yet? What? What's back here again? This is lame. What if I went up? Did it just say my name? That narrator is singing this. How interesting. Okay. Fine. I'll go the escape route. Jerk. I want to go here first. Okay, I can't do anything. Okay. This is kind of cool. I guess.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet.
Give me
And so
the
the
password.
boss had assigned it
Forget
an
what it was.
extra
It was like
secret
something
pin,
something 45.
2845.
2.
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by
As one
sheer
does.
luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Boop. Okay, so I'm gonna go the escape route this time. Because I wanted to do that last time, but I wanted to be cooperative last time. You feel me? Okay, creepy fog again, dust, whatever it is.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read
Nope.
Mind Control
Wait,
Facility.
what? Okay. Can I get out? Can I get out? I can't get out. Okay, fine. I'll go through here.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Yeah, no.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
I sure
At
did.
this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
This seems bad, but I'm gonna do it. If I don't die from the fall, I'll be surprised, but probably die from something else. It's like that part in Portal. Oh god.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow
If I
vision
got on that
of what
thing.
this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Oh.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Whoa. There are no other rooms. This is it. It's my room. This is the hallway. There you go. This little thing. Here's the thing again. What's this? The two doors. Classic. Wow. Oh. Ooh, you got 3 different variants of the office. That's cool. Buttons. Ooh, I like that one. That's a good one. Who's the narrator? Kevin. Okay. I'll call him Kevin from now on. The office. Okay, we got a printer, or a scanner, whatever that is. What? I want to do that ending. Sounds like a great ending. Sounds so fun. Oh, I want to do that one. That looks so cool. Okay. Ooh. I want to do that one. Alright, what's this? HD. More endings, fewer endings. What? Okay. It's point is to win. Thank you. Wait, what? Words. I love it. Okay. What was this? Narrator emails. Okay, cool. Got emails. Got the lounge. What was that noise? The apartment timer. Oh, the apartment ending. I know that one. Oh, it resets. That's cool. Left. Okay. Again. All right, that's cool. Keep going. Let's see. Meeting room, of course. Wait, what? Whoa, so many options. Whoa. That's cool. Whoa. What's this? It's now pause. Oh, it's pause menu. Ooh, that looks cool. Is this the... This is not the end scene. As it existed in beta. Yeah, okay. Huh. Sweet. Monitor from elevator. Boop. Ah, okay. Cool, cool, cool. Ooh, 3 different versions of The Office. Development. That's cool. Okay. So I don't know where to go now. I don't know how to restart. Yeah. How do I restart? That's cool. Okay. How do I go back to the beginning? Do I begin the game again? That's how you do it. I gotcha. Okay, it's back to the normal one.
Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
And yet everyone's
No.
missing.
No, the orders were still missing. For now.
For now? I don't like that answer. Let's do one more ending. And then... Nope. Let's do some random stuff this time. Some uncharted stuff, like going down the stairs or something.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room.
Actually.
And Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Okay, so I have to go through the door on the left.
Wow. Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
As one does.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his
Let's
boss's
go
office.
down. Ooh, this is
But
cool.
Stanley
The
just
car.
didn't do it. He considered the
wanna get in
possibility
the
of
car.
facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe,
Same
he
room
thought
over
to
and over
himself,
again.
maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment
Why?
for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense.
No.
And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating?
Yes.
No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers
I've had dreams like
weren't
this.
actually gone.
I don't know about you, but
He
I've had
wasn't going
dreams
to
like
lose
this.
his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
That's so cool.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
It's because it's the narrator,
Now
duh.
the voice was describing itself being
Don't you
considered
have a
by
narrator
Stanley,
on your
who
life?
found it particularly strange.
Well,
I'm
cool people
dreaming
do.
about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself?
How would I fly
Believing
then?
that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How
Exactly.
else would the voice explain all that?
Yeah.
This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it
What
could
if
be
I wake
over.
up in the office? I'm pretty sure I
Let me
do.
go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please. It's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
You sure about that?
I am okay.
Are you? Nope. Okay.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Oh.
And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Yeah. That's cool, I guess. I'm assuming smart again. Okay, we do. Alright. Well, I'll leave that for another episode. Then I'll see you guys in the next video. And until then, stay peachy. And bye, guys.